Brodes Media.
You know what's beautiful about this game? If I say 10, what do you think I'm referencing? Now, a good portion of you probably believe it's simple. A 10-game win streak. Well, what if I told you? No. How about a 10-plus minute drive to close out a game up 14 in the fourth quarter when Mike Tomlin elects to punt on 4th and 7? And let's be real. He saw Russell Wilson and his offense staring at the face of Vic Fangio, Zach Bourne, Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Josh Sweat, Nolan Smith. The list goes on. And he rolled the dice saying, yeah, I don't know. No. I do not want to see my offense try to complete a 4th and 7 with the game on the line. This probably gives me my best chance. And here's reality. It may have been your best chance. Your best chance against this Eagles football team is watching them milk the clock all the way down to 0, and you never get an opportunity again. That's how lethal the Philadelphia Eagles are. And watching the Lions lose to the Buffalo Bills gives us a whole new sense of urgency to try and snag that number 1 seed that I never really had that dream die yet. But it just didn't have as much pop because I needed to see how these 2 most recent games for Detroit went. They handled business against Green Bay, but if they were to lose one of those 2, we're in business, as long as the Eagles handled their business. And they did, because they're great. Maybe even the greatest team in the NFL. Not maybe. They look to be. And the reason why I feel strongly about that is their passing game. You heard me correctly. Their passing game puts them on a different level. When their passing game explodes, the way they just attacked Pittsburgh, nobody can stop you. And let's be real. Most teams don't have the luxury of keeping Saquon Barkley to 65 yards. Granted, he missed some time, and he was standing on the sidelines, eager to get back into this ball game. So that played a role. But I also think Mike Tomlin and the Steelers made it known that you weren't going to beat us. Okay. Well, this was a test. What if somehow Jalen did have to put the team on his back and throw you to a victory? He did just that. Nick Sirianni deserves so much appreciation for this week because I screamed that this was just as big of a regular season game as last year against the 49ers, because that's what changed the season around, knowing that there was so much controversy facing that team at home and you got your ass kicked. And everything snapped after that. Knowing the turmoil and the frustration and the noise and the drama that occurred, right, wrong, indifferent, doesn't matter how, if it should have been, I'm not talking about that. It was. That's the truth. That's a fact. It was there. It was living inside those walls of the NovaCare complex. And for them to have that type of response where the first drive, Alcantara, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, right off the rip to make a statement that we're coming, that we're attacking, there's urgency to go and go heavy in the passing game. Good luck. That put a huge smile on my face because I thought they needed to do that. Not only does it make you such a stronger team, not only does it make the rest of the league afraid that you have more ways to win than just running and defense, now it's 3-layered, multi-layered, but three layers. This team is a force. And Nick Sirianni was able to keep everybody's mind properly where it needed to be in a time of uncomfortable And even Devontae Smith said that in front of his locker post-game today. They had some uncomfortable conversations about this passing game because there was real toxic energy surrounding why it hasn't reached its peak. And it's good to have uncomfortable conversation. My question becomes, when you have that talk, does it break any relationships? Does it fracture anything? Does it get worse? This was as pretty as we've seen. Jalen Hurts went 25 of 32 for 290 yards and 2 tutties when airing out this football. And he did this all apparently with one of his hands with a broken finger. And think about this too. I know he had the one fumble because he was trying to do too much and break some tackles. But the way the Steelers go out there swinging, like they're Mike Tyson in his prime, not 60 years old in a ring with Jake Paul. All right? I'm watching TJ Watt and all these cats out there throw legitimate uppercuts and haymakers at the football. And somehow Jalen keeps it in his possession as he's got one hand with a broken finger. He's got his other hand. And he's getting to the ground as he's getting sacked. And he somehow maintains the football. That's no joke. This Eagles team, too, by the way, Fred Johnson has to slide in for a sec when Lane Johnson goes down. And Lane versus TJ Watt, it doesn't get as lethal of a matchup as that does. And you saw the one sequence where Lane had the false start, or he jumped early. Yes, he jumped early because I think he was anticipating TJ Watt as a threat, which would scare the hell out of me as well. And then he also had a situation where Jalen got hit and brought to the ground. But I'll tell you what, the Eagles sure had their fair share of greatness at that line as well. Nolan Smith, I saw a lot of pass breakups right around the line of scrimmage. So as a unit, they were able to throw that little wrench in there with Russell Wilson trying to deliver the football to his receivers. George Pickens or not, by the way. I don't want to hear one damn excuse about how they didn't have certain players and how they were extremely hurt. I didn't get to see Saquon to the full potential. I watched Tyler Steen slide in for one of the most important left guards in all of football right now in Landon Dickerson. Him and Mailata on the left side of Cam Jurgens is a straight up threat to mankind, okay? And you have to watch Landon Dickerson leave, throw in Tyler Steen. That's the nature of the beast. What do you do when you get uncomfortable? You have to execute, and you need others to step up around you. How about Kenny Gainwell? Are you fucking kidding me with that spinorama? How many times was that guy outworking everyone on the field? That's the first time in a long-ass time I went, yo, I'd be cool if Kenny Gainwell gets more touches because he was in his bag today. Outside of one sequence this year where he followed Mekhi Becton. That's another guy, too, by the way, who got a little hobbled in Mekhi Becton late. Things got a little hairy in the injury department situation, right? A.J. Brown gets tackled. And you go, yo, wasn't that play supposed to be eliminated from planet Earth? Wasn't that play supposed to be done with in this league so we don't have to deal with guys like him getting hurt or Devontae getting hurt? Because I'm pretty sure there was a little situation earlier where Devontae right by the sticks got brought to the ground pretty similarly to that too, unless it was a different receiver. But my eyes saw it, damn it. I saw it way too many times out there. But it got a little hairy late, and I didn't like that whatsoever. But I saw Kenny Gainwell earlier this year have 2 runs where he followed Lane and Becton, and outside of that, I'm sick and tired of seeing him, quite frankly. Today, feed him. Don't give a damn. Feed him. I'm enjoying every little moment of him exploding out there. That was just a gritty win. Gritty, I say that in a way that isn't meaning hard-nosed, tough. You know, sometimes I say gritty, it feels like it's a super close battle and you just like earned it through toughness and all. And maybe gritty's not the right word to use. I tried to use it in a way that made sense for me, but the more I try to explain it, it's probably not that word. It's gritty in this regard. I can't stress enough what this week was like for them. Whether Brandon Graham added fuel to the fire and had gasoline poured on a fire that then caught into a forest fire, reality is they had to deal with such a toxic work environment. And the way that Jordan Mailata stepped up to the plate and said, this isn't the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts show. This is all about the Steelers. And for them to set the tone early in the game, showing we came to play. We came with the attitude. We came focused. We came prepared. And to score in the first quarter as strongly as they did, they haven't been able to do that all season long when there wasn't any drama. So for this to be the week, to show some consistency early and to have a game plan and to be so locked in, Jalen definitely wanted to prove people wrong this week. And to his credit, he did. And I want that to continue, because if they do add that element to this offense, I'm telling you, there's nothing you can do to stop this team.